What's up, everybody? Tony Pizza Guy here, and today we're going to be talking about Bill Goldberg and WCW. Now, if you're not familiar with Bill Goldberg, well, we're going to get a little information on Bill Goldberg. Now, Bill Goldberg went to the University of Georgia, where he was All-American nose guard playing football. After that, basically we'll just talk about his wrestling career. He crossed paths with many WCW stars living in Atlanta. While working out in a gym owned by Sting and Lex Luger, Sting actually convinced Goldberg to go to the WCW power plant. And then they went through the power plant, and they basically came up with this character, Goldberg. Then comes the streak. We all probably know the streak, but a little known fact, probably a lesser known fact, before he actually won the streak, started the wins of the streak, the first person he first was Hector Guerrero, and he actually lost. So, but that doesn't matter. His debut on television, he versed Hugh Morris, and he went out there, basically pummeled him. This was on September 22nd, 1997. Pummeled him, jackhammered him, and left. Never said a word. That's one of the things about Bill Goldberg that was good. They would never let him say a word. They wanted to have mystique and keep it mysterious about the personality of Goldberg. He just wouldn't speak. After that, he went on over his whole career. They had it listed at 173-0 before he actually lost, but we won't talk about his loss just yet. But something interesting that nobody really ever talks about 30 of those wins were against a guy named Jerry Flynn. And yeah, because I'm looking at a list here. We have Hugh Morris, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row of Jerry Flynn. Then this guy named Al Green, then Jerry Flynn, then Brad Armstrong, then Jerry Flynn again, or something similar to that. But it was just like the same guys over and over and over, which is fine, I guess. If you want to have a streak, you got to have that. You can't, obviously, when you're just starting it, you can't have them go against all the top names. But yeah, and one of the things that was really bad about WCW is that they piped in the Goldberg chants. I mean, granted, I wouldn't know watching television, but when he would come out, people would chant, Goldberg, Goldberg. Well, to get the people started on chanting that, they would pipe it in before they actually did it, so you could see the crowd not chanting it, but then they would actually, you'd hear it. And the other thing about Goldberg is that they would exaggerate his streak numbers. So say that he had like 10 wins, they would bump it up to 20 when you're not on television, because, you know, people wouldn't really know. They'd just be like, oh, okay, maybe he won some house shows, and that's what they're counting from. So they did that, which was kind of a bogus move on their end, but he did end up capturing the WCW US title on 4/20/1998, wrestling Raven on Nitro. And that was his first major title in WCW. And then we will talk about the famous, that's right, we have the famous Nitro live from Atlanta, the Georgia Dome. We all remember this. It was July 6th, 1998. It was him versus Hulk Hogan for the WCW World title. And something kind of hilarious how screwed up WCW was. The Thunder, before that Nitro, Goldberg was at home watching television, and out came J.J. Dillon and said that Hulk Hogan was contractually obligated to defend his WCW title against who I think is the number one contender, Bill Goldberg. And Goldberg said he found out about his title match watching Thunder. How screwed up is it? They don't even tell him that he's going to get a title match. He just finds out. And then he goes on to fight Hulk Hogan, which was the highest attendance record for any WCW event ever. And he won the title. Yay, we can be happy, right? No, let's not be happy, because we need to analyze this. Even Goldberg himself, who, the more we know about him, he's kind of not that big of a wrestler. He's more of like a car guy. But even Goldberg himself said, you know what? We got that many fans just in less than a week by telling them. Think if we would have planned this out for a month and did a pay-per-view, we could have had the biggest pay-per-view of all time. Duh, WCW, why would you do that? You screwed it up. You screwed it up. You could have had the biggest thing. Eric Bischoff was so concerned about putting Raw off the air that they wasted a great chance at a huge buy rate for a pay-per-view. Did it on Nitro just so they could beat Raw. Oh my gosh. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think WCW are idiots, or do you think they needed to do it to beat Raw? You know, I don't know, but obviously I think it's the wrong move for WCW. Now, we have a lot more Goldberg talk up to where he first lost, but I did just want to talk about this bogus move by WCW to throw a huge pay-per-view buy on one of the free television nitros. Anyway, guys, we'll be back with part 2 of the Goldberg legacy in WCW. Tony Pizza Guy, frag out.